She wiped another stroke of gray paint across the steel barracks door, her wrist trembling slightly under the weight of exhaustion. No one noticed the thin chain of sweat dripping from her temple, or the small tattoo half hidden beneath her rolled-up sleeve. No one till a Navy SEAL stopped mid-step, his breath catching in his throat. His eyes locked on that mark, and the bustling corridor seemed to fall silent around him. Before I tell you what happened next, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I love knowing who's listening. The woman's name was Clara Hayes, and for months she'd been working quietly as a civilian contractor on base, painting doors, repairing walls, blending into the background. She never asked for attention. She liked it better that way. Life had taught her to avoid the spotlight. But the tattoo, a delicate compass entwined with faded initials, was a piece of her past she could never wash away. The SEAL's name was Marcus Duran, and he froze because he had seen that very tattoo before. Years ago, in a desert half a world away, during a rescue mission gone horribly wrong. A young medic had rushed to save his teammate, refusing to retreat even as gunfire rained down. That medic bore the same compass, drawn hastily on her wrist in ink that smudged with blood. Marcus had always believed she hadn't survived. Now here she was, painting a door. Alive. He stepped closer, his boots echoing against the concrete floor. Clara felt the shadow before she saw him. She looked up, and their eyes locked. She recognized him instantly, the scar across his jaw, the steady but searching gaze. Memories she had buried clawed their way back. The chaos, the screams. The last time she'd seen Marcus, he had been dragging her fellow medics onto a helicopter, while she had been ordered to stay behind with the wounded. The explosion that followed had sealed her silence for years. "You," Marcus's voice cracked, roughened by disbelief. "You're not supposed to be here." Clara's brush slipped, paint dripping onto her boots. Her heart pounded so loudly she wondered if the whole barracks could hear. She had rebuilt her life on anonymity, on fading into the background. Now the past was staring at her, demanding answers. Whispers began to ripple through the corridor. Other SEALs paused, sensing the tension. The air grew thick, heavy with the weight of unfinished stories. Clara wanted to run, to vanish, but Marcus didn't move. He stood rooted, as if he'd seen a ghost. She thought she'd never see him again. She was wrong. Marcus finally whispered, "That tattoo, do you even know what it means to me?" His voice trembled, but not with anger, with something softer, something raw. Clara swallowed hard. The compass had been a promise she'd made to herself in the darkest night of her life, to always find her way back, no matter how lost she became. "It meant survival," she said quietly. "It meant I had to keep going, even when no one thought I would." A silence settled. Then, as if carried by some unseen current, a murmur of respect spread among the soldiers gathered nearby. They had heard fragments of the legend, the medic who had stayed behind, the one everyone believed gone. Marcus's throat tightened. Slowly, he extended his hand, not as a commander, not as a soldier, but as a man who finally saw the truth standing before him. Clara hesitated, torn between fear of exposure and the relief of finally being recognized. Then, with trembling fingers, she placed her paint-stained hand in his, and the barracks erupted in quiet applause. Not the thunderous cheer of victory, but the solemn acknowledgement of sacrifice, the kind only warriors understand, because kindness doesn't vanish, it waits, and it finds its way back. The tattoo that once marked her survival now marked her return. And as the sunlight streamed through the high windows, glinting off fresh paint and weary eyes, Clara realized she hadn't been forgotten after all. If this story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe, because stories like this remind us that courage, once given, always finds its way home.